There's nothing quite like mounting on top of a giant bear inside of a flooded forest and using its claws to swipe and hack away at the helplessly victimized lizard that was just minding its own business, doing nothing wrong like my character, in a series that's already known for its thrilling Oh hey! I didn't see you there. I was busy plagiarizing IGN's review on Monster Hunter Rise while adding a bit of my own twist. Ironic, isn't it? You might ask, why would I do such a thing? It's because I'm a video game journalist, my friend, and I have nothing original to say about Monster Hunter Rise. But let's dive right into my in-depth review after about 20 hours of playtime in a game that takes much longer to even begin to understand. Monster Hunter Rise is about as awkward of an experience as all of its predecessors have been, only this time there's a few quality of life changes that cut back on some of the busy work on an unfinished product. Now, I've been a fan of the Monster Hunter franchise for years now, having played it all the way back when World was first released, and even playing through some of the older games for an hour back when the series was basically unplayable. With all of the quality of life changes made to World that's returned to Rise, I was hoping that Capcom would take this game to the next level, but unfortunately it's fallen short once again from being an excellent game for newcomers to enjoy. The reason being is that Monster Hunter Rise is a tough game. Old school tough. While not as nonsensically chore-ridden and difficult as past Monster Hunter titles, there's still a weird and arbitrary barrier in Monster Hunter that prevents new players like me from entering the series. Monsters are fast, do a lot of damage, and leave very little room for any counterattacks. It's a tough game with seemingly no entry point or easy mode to start out on. I find the multiplayer to be confusing to get into, and the game is extremely hard to learn and master. But that won't stop me from sharing my opinion and pretending like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Monster Hunter. The second reason is there seems to be an extreme sense of pointlessness in this game. I've never been a fan of the Monster Hunter franchise because of how pointless it all seemed, but there was never any good reason to fight and kill these monsters, and with the paper-thin story in Rise, the issue certainly isn't improved. Whether it's a random chicken roaming a desert or a fire-breathing dragon, the game never seems to provide any context as to why I'm fighting these creatures, and in spite of how the game is called Monster Hunter, I need a justifiable reason, especially when my partners decide to randomly attack herbivore creatures just sitting there minding their own business and I'm forced to kill them. Even if there was some kind of narrative reason to be murdering all of these wildlife specimens, the reward for it is extremely underwhelming. The gameplay loop just seems monumentally mundane. Kill a monster, carve it for materials, maybe craft a thing or two, and just do it again? The fights are already frustratingly difficult enough, so I don't know why I would bother to just keep on doing them time and time again. With the lack of any endgame content and no tangible rewards, the pointlessness of this is only skyrocketed. Of course, this wouldn't be a Monster Hunter review unless I spoke about the most important thing Monster Hunter provides us with: endless filler content. With the release of every game like Monster Hunter, all we'll do is plagiarize each other's reviews with little to no substance. But the real moneymakers come in the 24 pointless articles we'll write time and time again on Monster Hunter for the days to come. We will do every little thing to milk this cash cow we barely play, including making basic guides for every single monster that include some of the most basic and mundane information imaginable. We might even make mind-numbingly basic guides on all 14 weapons after using each of them for about an hour, with some incredibly pointless writing that can be accomplished either by looking in the game or just messing around against the target dummy for about 10 minutes. We'll also be sure to include a list of tips you may have missed or things the game doesn't tell you, that are all included either in the game's tutorials, in the Hunter's Notes, or can be discovered by literally just playing the game and discovering how things work. Some might be useful, but will also include pointless things such as use R to run up walls, spirit birds are important, palamutes can climb up vines, you can pause the game, you can skip cutscenes, literally anything about wyvern riding. You don't need to sheath your weapon to sharpen it. We'll be sure to keep you updated on Monster Hunter after every little tweet and detail, ensuring that we write an entire article on even the most minute information given from Capcom, stretching it out as long as possible and providing pointless filler summaries or information, even uploading their trailers to our channel. We don't like Monster Hunter, but we'll sure as shit milk it and pretend like we do. It has a little something for everyone, and it'll make a little something for us. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification for our next 10 videos on Monster Hunter, including the top 10 things you may have missed in our Monster Hunter review. And it's okay if you don't. It'll pop up in your recommended anyway. On a more serious note, if you actually want some good Monster Hunter news and information, check out some of these channels. See you next time.